So I guess this is happening instead of actually going to the temple straight away. But yes, by all means, let's talk about this first. You know, there's something bothering me about all this. Just this whole deal with this ancient stuff and Lucretia, and there's something not right about this. Also, remember these things? And remember these things?
To be honest, I don't really remember the poll.
Oh, there was one of them under the village chief's house when we fixed the village. It was the thing that was making the cats for some reason. So anyway, these are largely unchanged from before. The only difference is that now we've got more stats and more elements. Well, okay then. As far as the game logic is concerned, these are the same enemy. But
There seem to be a few more of them this time.
yeah, they got a whole puzzle thing going on now. There's a whole line of them. In computer science terms, we'd say that they form a graph, and we follow along edges. Every time we kill one, it shows us the next ones along whatever paths are there. Some of the paths have branches, some of the poles have special qualities, some of them do different attacks, some of them heal the other ones, some of them put up shields. There is only one that is the one that you have to kill to end the whole thing.
I assume this one is the easiest to find because it's the one that's the most out of the way.
Usually, yes. But it's not like they can't use the other gimmicks to make you do some work first. And sooner or later I'm gonna figure out what's bothering me about the fact that we're trying to locate what's taking control of the ancient stuff in the service of Lucretia. I'm sure it'll come to me. So anyway, this is our new plot quest. And this is the thing that actually makes us go and deal with the infested jungle. Notably, while we're on our way down there, you might recall that we're going back through Gaia's Garden, and we've got some new toys now. This is the game just subtly coming up with the excuses to have you go traipse around these areas again, just to make you notice that there's all this stuff. And you can do stuff with the stuff now. This is definitely game design. You can't fool me.
But I was told there was no game design here.
Well, some of the things are game design, but I guess some of the things are apparently not game design. At least that's how I interpret the game's stance on that matter. Anyway, you can get a tiny bit wrong-footed here, but don't worry about it. I'm still not actually sure about this one. Like, I feel like there's a different way of doing this than being this precise about stuff, but yeah. And yes, I do see it in retrospect. But I feel like I'm just contractually obliged to galaxy brain my way through as many puzzles as possible. Like, you see it too, right? You see what the shot actually was.
Is it not just a straight left from there?
Yes. Well, a straight right, but yes. There's two corners on the far wall. You bounce it off of them, it just goes straight around. But no, I had to do the weird bullshit timing thing with the triple ricochet and the bringing up the shield again, because fuck you, that's why. As I have repeatedly said, I have a huge respect for this game just rolling with this stuff when you decide, no, fuck you, I'm gonna make the bullshit trick shot. The game just throws its hands up and says, well, I guess I just gotta hand it to you. It's a solid design pattern. So anyway, each time we beat one of these, like with solving the microchain, each time we beat one of the screens of these, it unlocks the next one in the next screen. At the time, you're given a little pointer that says, hey, it's in this general direction. And outside of that, there's no way to, like, actually get a reminder of where the next one you're looking for is. You can get a vague hint in the main quest objective. It'll say, like, south of infested marsh or something, but basically what I'm saying is don't walk away from this quest once you've started it. It's a bad idea.
This is a pretty extensive fight.
Yeah, these go on a tiny bit. And yeah, some of them do spawn other enemies, so, you know, have fun with that. Also, the ones that actually directly attack you, they're decently powerful. Don't count them out just because they've only got 1,000 hit points. I can't recommend that. But yeah, there's a couple of these, and I'm 90% sure that one of the only reasons there actually are so many of them is just to give you more excuses to go wandering around more of Gaia's Garden again. And I can't say I fully disagree with the rationale there. I think that was a valid way of designing it. Also, yeah, big think here.
Surely going up would be easier here, and then ricocheting down.
We don't do easier here. But yeah, also they just send you the whole way back around to go and actually get that. Why? Why? Come on, I solved the puzzle. Just lower the barrier, man. Why are you like this? Don't answer that. I know exactly why they're like this. It's because it's CrossCode. Literally doesn't know any other way to be like. Also, I guess they have to give you a reason to go and jump on that tree at some point.
Can you actually shoot that beehive?
Yes. Hell if I remember exactly how, but I've definitely done it. If only because I needed the botany completion. So yeah, as you can imagine, these things get very gradually more convoluted as you go on. They keep a respectable cap on the exact number of branching paths that you have to possibly go and chase down. But even if they didn't, you can work through these things pretty snappily anyway, so there's an upper limit, really, on how long this can take. Also, yeah, when we get the wave element, Emily and Trolley get it too, and they will spam it. And one thing that I do love about wave is the sound that it makes when you shoot shots with it. It's just this perfect rubber band flicking sound. I love it. I want to hear it continuously. It's very satisfying.
Wait, this area is called the infested marches, not the infested marsh?
I didn't spot that. That's possibly a typo. It would not be the first time that we've seen a weird error in specifically the quest info pop up. I don't know, I'd have to go and look it up. I couldn't tell you under pressure right now, I couldn't swear to it, but I'm pretty sure that this area actually is called Infested Martians. No CH. But I can entirely believe that there could have been a typo. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know why some of these take so curiously long to die. Like, there doesn't seem to be a pattern to them, like, some of them just... I think some of them have attacks that briefly give them additional defense. I think. I couldn't swear to that. I just feel like sometimes it takes me a weirdly long time to kill individual ones of these.
Okay, that must have been a typo, because it's now said marshes twice.
Yeah. Yeah, in the area name, when you look it up on the map, is one thing, but I'm pretty sure the quest info strings were written by hand. somebody could have just written the wrong thing in there. Which, again, we have seen before.
Oh, there it is again!
Huh. Maybe somebody just really dropped the ball on that.
That's a weird typo to repeat.
Right? Like, it's in the name of two different areas, so it's not like they just copied one. That was me attempting to demonstrate the wave throw arts, which we will see repeated more successfully later, but suffice it to say that the wave throw arts are all about draining health. They don't do a lot of damage, but they do recover your own hit points. They are pretty much the only way to recover your hit points outside of the use of healing items in the thick of combat. Needless to say, this makes them very useful. But at the same time, missing with them is usually a very bad time, because then you get nothing, you've used your SP and you've done fuck all damage. And you're probably dying, because, like, you were using a health drain technique. So there's that. I do think it's a little bit of a shame that there aren't a whole lot of great opportunities immediately to play with the wave techniques. But don't worry, we will be seeing them. Like just now, I managed to make reasonably utilitarian application of a decoy. The decoys are great, they don't last a great amount of time, but, and I cannot stress this enough, they draw aggro. The fact that they draw aggro makes them amazing.
Why are they hiding the sloth in shadow? It's not like we don't know what that kind of enemy is.
I mean, we might know what it is, but that doesn't mean that we can see it in detail, necessarily. We can't see exactly what kind of sloth it is. Also, wow, the area ahead is called Infested Heart. That sure is a hell of a thing to call something. So yeah, here is a ordinary CrossCode elevation puzzle. There's nothing really remarkable about it, it's just a couple of jumps that we have to figure out how to make. So far so ordinary, right? But what if we had to do one of these in a jumping puzzle room?
That seems less than ideal, not gonna lie.
Yeah. Fortunately, this could be much worse. Now here it's being demonstrated that a lot of the wave attacks have homing. They have very powerful homing. As you can imagine, this is pretty useful. The level 1 wave throw art, it fires a couple of projectiles. Each of them drains a little bit of health. It's not a very huge deal, but it's also only 1 SP. The level 2 one launches a good couple more shots. They hit a lot harder, they home a lot faster, and also each of them drags the enemy towards you, and when the whole tech is finished, you do a big energy wave attack. That I think scales depending on how much health you've absorbed. As for what might be beyond that, well, we'll see. There's an alternate version of them that it doesn't do any health draining stuff, but it does do a good amount of bouncing projectile stuff. Like, it shoots a nice powerful projectile that pierces enemies and bounces off walls, and, like, boomerangs back and forth. It's great. Needless to say, there'll be some applications for some of that. Also, yeah, I think I mentioned that the poles that actually attack you do not fuck around. Please kill them quick. It's a bad time if you don't kill them quick.
That just seemed kind of tedious, to be honest.
Yeah, fortunately this is the only time we're gonna have to do that. Like, I think this is the exact point at which these puzzles outstay their welcome. Which is probably why that's the last one. I mean, unless you count this, but this isn't a puzzle, really. It's just... this is just a fight. Anyway, the cats are all shock element, so as you can imagine, Wave is pretty good against them. Not only because Wave attacks deal more damage, but also because the decoys are just a really good idea. They go right for them, and more importantly, they don't go right for you. The decoys drawing aggro is like, it is universal. It draws almost everything, it's just a couple seconds of breathing room. And that is extremely valuable. Okay, so... Are you ready for an extremely direct, out-of-left-field reference? Introducing the Cephasloth, which, yes, attacks with an enormous katana, which it holds in its left hand.
I see.
The Cephasloth that has been acting as a parasite, drawing power from the track of the ancients. The Cephasloth that we've been sent to track down by Dr. Lucretia. Like, they really went in on this one. I don't know what to tell you.
I was gonna say, this has got some big chili dog energy on this one.
Anyway, besides its weird decision of etymological origin, Cephasloth, other than this, fights pretty similarly to the regular sloths in that he has a lot of charging attacks that go right at you, and the way that you fight him is by dealing big stagger damage by hitting him while he's attacking. And if you can hit him with the Wave melee text while he is swinging that katana, it is a bad time for him. This is a little bit more of a problem, but you can tank it with Guard Sphere. I tried to show off the Wave counter, but didn't go too well. I just fell back on reducing his hit point total to 0. That turned out to do the job. And don't you worry, we will see some applications for the Wave Guard Arts. And yes, of course there's a funny trophy from this, come on. One thing that they never explain is exactly what the hell this room is.
Yeah, that's just what I was thinking. It was like, okay, great, we beat the Sephisloth. What the fuck did we actually do? What was the point of any of that?
Well, we cleared out whatever was actually threatening the track. Anyway, it would appear that Lucretia has a bodyguard now. Funny that. I find it amusing how they just keep going with this stupid reference. Man, are you saying that humanity was the real virus all along? Sounds an awful lot like that's what you're saying.
I mean, I guess, except for the part where that wasn't the problem?
I mean, sure. But that's not what the track thought. So yeah, that whole thing is just this weird, bizarre little diversion, which goes into, I guess, a tiny bit more detail about the lore of the track, but mostly it just exists to take up some time, to stop you from, I guess, from getting dungeon fatigue by going straight into Gran Criscaro straight away. On which note, we're actually not going to be continuing directly into there, because now that we've got Shock and Wave, a whole bunch of new quests have just opened up, so I guess we're going to go and do those now.